long ago and far away, and it was so much better than it is today. Hello out there in Radioland. Hold it now. Let's turn my recorder on. Now we say hello out there in Radioland, and we see you in Videoland. We are in Videoland. That's correct. Long ago and far away, so much better than it is today. That was just Meatloaf finishing a song. And yeah, that's why I was singing it. I'm not nuts. Well, that's my opinion, that I'm not crazy, but that's just me. That's just me talking out loud. I'm a little bit crazy. But you know what? I'm not crazy today because I'm back in the studio. Look, I'm back in the studio. Finally, I can get out. My knee's feeling a lot better. I'm out and about, and yeah. So we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. City Council's coming up on Monday. We're going to do. I'm not going to call it a City Council review because I'm not doing that anymore. I've had it with these guys. I can't do it. I can't take it. My heart. I got to take heart pills with these guys. So I'm not going to do a review. I'm going to get Dave Wheeler in here, my buddy Wheels. And what we're going to do is just give you the highlights of the agenda. When City Council meets, we're going to give you the highlights of exactly what they're going to talk about and tell you what you should be watching for. And there's a couple of, excuse me, there's a couple of dandies on there. Believe me, I went through it really quick. There's a couple of dandies we're going to be talking about. And a couple of budgets that are coming up. So we'll talk more about that. I'll tell you more about that as the show goes on here, and we'll really get into it a little bit more on Monday with Wheels in the house. But we're not going to go through the whole agenda. I can't take it. They can't do these decisions these guys make. It's a dysfunctional city council that has. I just don't think they know what the hell they're doing. They're not doing us any favors anyway. So we're not going to get into that because you know what? I can't take it. I can't take it. I don't know how anybody can sit through that. Anybody that has common sense, how they put up with that meeting, I don't know. Lori Coco, Councilor Coco, she's got to be biting her lip every 5 minutes. It's nuts. Anyway, my name is Paul K. Lemire. This is your city, your voice. You wouldn't understand. It's a Lemire thing. You wouldn't understand. And yeah, coming to you from the studios of 4680Q in downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And I've been coming to you from the Video Science Studios. Yeah, so pleasant to be back in the studio. I don't know, I just like it here better. I like it here better than doing it in the other studio because, I don't know, I get the radio out there for sure. I don't have that in the other studio. But it's just, I don't know, it's nicer being in here. I get the big window. I can watch all the kooks running around outside, the meteor crater, and everything else. Anyway, before we get into the show, it's finally Friday, of course. I want to talk about my sponsors. You know, these sponsors are so fantastic. They support the show. They support this whole thing here. So you want to make sure you support them, right? They do a lot in the community, so support them. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, and Hamel Machine Shop. Now, look outside. Do you really want your car to break down in this weather? I got up this morning. It was what was it? -7 or something, or it was 21 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what the European model is, what that is in European talk. But I know one thing: it'll freeze the brass balls off a monkey. Is that what they say? The balls off a brass monkey? Maybe that's what it is. But either way, it'll do that. So you don't want your car breaking down. You don't want to be standing out with your hands in your pocket in this weather waiting for CAA. No. What you're going to do is pick up the phone, call Ken Hunter at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and say, Ken, I've got to get my car in there. I want you to check it out and make sure it's ready for winter. And he's going to do that. He's going to look at your fluids. He's going to look at your brakes. He's going to look at your suspension tires. Do a computer scan to make sure there's no error codes that are going to pop up and cause you grief a week or two or a month down the road. Also, he's going to take your car for a drive to make sure it's running A1, number one, fluids, lighting, the whole shot. That's what you get when you call Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Make that appointment proactive. That's what the word of the day is, proactive. You want to be proactive with that. And if there's anything wrong, he's going to fix it for you ASAP. Now you get an offender bender, and I got to tell you a story about the roads and City Hall in a minute. You get an offender bender, guess what? Take it down there. He's got a full body shop, going to get your car in, fix it, send it out in showroom condition. You'll be happy. I'll be happy. Ken will be happy. Everybody's going to be happy if you take your car to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and get it looked at before the winter. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you, and thank you so much for supporting our sponsors. If you're watching this video, and they say like 2/3 of the people who watch the videos don't subscribe. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Smash it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button so you know when I post another video. And give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave comments. I always talk about comments on the show. Leave comments. What do you think? I ask for your opinion because this is Your City, Your Voice. I want to know what you're thinking. And then I can sit here and we can talk about it. Some agree with me, some don't. I don't really care. The important part is that you participate, not only in the show by commenting, but when it rolls around to election time, you participate so we don't get a council of stiffs who spend our money. It's still bothering me. 382 pages of entries, and not one of them stood up other than Lori Lococo and talked about what's going on in this city and why they're spending money on this or that and trying to save us a dime. Not one person talked about cutting expenses. That's why I'm here. That's what we got to do. That's why Jody Burdett is in there every week, talking to them and keeping them on the straight and narrow. These are the kind of things we have to do to make sure our city runs the way it should, that we get the most efficiency out of the dollars that we give them, and that we're happy. We have a clean city, a safe city, a city with clean water, a city with good roads. That's what we all want. We don't want concrete ping pong tables. We want a city. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on. First off, look at this weather. Baby, it's cold outside. But don't fear all you snowbirds that don't leave until January. Don't worry about it because help is on the way. In another 2 or 3 days, there's going to be a major shift in the weather, and we're going to be heading into the balmy upper 40s. With the sun out, we may hit 50. So don't worry about it. It's coming back. It's coming back. Then we're going to high pressure systems moving in. Then we're going to get a little bit of cold. Then we're going to get it coming back. So I'm looking forward to a nice, dry Christmas. No snow. I know. Everybody wants snow. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, sleigh ride. No. I don't want any of that. No, January and February, slap us big time with that, and then I'm done. 2 months is enough. Win me the lottery and you wouldn't see me. I'd be sitting on a yacht somewhere if I won that $80 million in the Bahamas or in the Caribbean anyway. That's where I'd be sitting. Anyway, welcome home, warmth. We've missed you. And that's what we're going to be getting. Probably by about Sunday, we're going to see the temperatures really climb. And I got to tell you this story about City Hall. I mean, I sit here, council meeting after council meeting, and you see in the capital budget $1 million for the AI integration, customer service, better customer service, less time, blah, 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 the baloney they give you, gaslighters they are. And you know what? I called up City Hall this morning. And maybe, just maybe, I'm on a list. And my number pops up, and it doesn't take me anywhere. So I called up. It says, blah, 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 so the baloney. And then say what department you want or whatever. So I said, like, roads. And I'm going to tell you why I said roads. Is because Liz came home. She had a dentist appointment this morning. She came home, and she said, Scott Street is a skating rink. I wasn't going that fast, and I slid right by the intersection. Like, okay, well, let's call City Hall. Tell them to get a sander out there if they can. So I called up. I says, roads. Well, who do you want to talk to? What department? Roads. They go, you want to talk to Moses. Is that correct? I go, no, you idiot. I want to talk to road department. Oh, you want to talk to Who the hell is Ah? Do we have somebody in City Hall named Ah? Maybe do. Maybe we have Aso. I don't know. And then I said, "Listen, you moron!" And I'm talking to the artificial intelligence here, and I'm going to just take the word intelligence out of there. And finally, it says, "We cannot understand your request. Goodbye." And they hung up on me. This is our $1 million system we put in there for better customer service and customer relations. Oh my God. I'm going, please. Like, of all the people to do it to, why not just say, "Hi, Paul, what would you like today?" And I'd be happy and I wouldn't be on here talking about it and everything else. Oh, no, this system is, I don't know what the heck. But that's my experience with the new $1 million customer service, customer relations, IVR, whatever the hell they want to call it. They got all these short forms for everything, right? If you like to talk to COPD, FJQ, I'm going, no. This has nothing to do with pride. I just want my road sanded. Unbelievable. We're sorry. We cannot connect you to that department. Goodbye. Get out of here. Anyway, I thought I'd mention that. I mean, $1 million or whatever we're spending on this thing. They had a big. I remember the city council meeting. They had a big presentation, this big flow chart the size of Mount Everest up there. Oh, yeah, this is going to go here. Somebody calls in and it's road there and this and that. All these big friggin' things. They spent $100,000 on this presentation, and this 2-bit phone system can't even answer a call. It was a lot better when somebody picked up and said, "Hi, this is Shelly. Thank you for calling City of Niagara Falls. How can I help you?" Yeah, that was a lot better. But it didn't cost anything. Just somebody sitting at a desk being nice to people. Yeah. So I just called to pick up the phone. I got Marianne Ticky, who runs the service bay over there down in Stanley Avenue, runs all the road maintenance. I just got her extension on my phone because she's been on my show before and explained how it all works or it doesn't work. And so I just called her extension, left a message. I don't know whether she's going to get it or not. Who knows? She's probably busy these days. Pure ice everywhere. Yeah. So a few comments for. I just can't believe. Give me my concrete ping pong table. 25,000 sounds cheap compared to this thing. A few comments from previous shows. Penny Brookified. Burdett should put that petition online if permissible. It'll reach a wider audience. I'll sign it. That was from my last show where Jody Burdett was on, and he's got a petition going around to deal with awards versus that large system. And if you remember, we talked about it. And basically, Lori Lococo brought it to council. Mike Strange stood up and hammered her, said no, basically, and everybody voted against her about looking into the award system. So she can't bring it up again. I guess that's Jody's take on it. And so now he's taking the football and he's running with it. So he's going to be the guy to take this to the next level. So he needs 500 signatures. We'd like to get 10,000. Well, I shouldn't say we, I should say Jody, but I mean, I'm going to sign it for sure and see what comes of it. But that's what she was talking about. And she thinks it should be online. They'll reach a wider audience. I agree. 1,000,000,000%. Penny Brookify. And thank you for the comment. December 2nd show with Jody Burdett. The Iceman 69 says they also bought Cataract Ice Building for the university. Now, this was when we were talking about the University of Niagara Falls and the meteor crater. And I never knew. And I don't know if Jody knew that they had purchased that land where the Cataract Ice Company used to be on Park Street. Apparently, they purchased all that land. Now, I'm not sure if it's the city that bought it or if it's the University of Niagara Falls that bought it. I don't know. This is the first time hearing of this, but the Iceman knows. Maybe the Iceman could tell us, or we could find out about it from a counselor who actually bought that. If the city did, or the University of Niagara Falls did, it's definitely worth asking about, since it should really be a transparent transaction if the city bought it using taxpayer dollars? A great questions, Iceman. Great question. And we'll see if we can get a reply about it. Now, um, they are looking for housing, student housing, and there is a meeting on December 19th about the meteor crater across the street. And when that meeting comes up, we'll see what's going on. They want to change the zoning so that it can be a 20-story building here. They were going to build a 10-story. They want to change it for a 20-story. Then they talked about student housing, although before they said it would never be used for student housing. It would be affordable housing or subsidized housing, whatever you want to call it. So interesting that the angles changed a little bit for that. See what happens on December 19th. I think it's at 4:30 at City Hall if you want to go down and check out and see what they're saying. I may even show up and put a scare into everybody. When I walk in City Hall, they don't like it. But I might go see that meeting. I'll see what happens. December 19th, we're close to Christmas. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that one. So there's a city council meeting on Tuesday, December 10th. That's next Tuesday, or this Tuesday coming up anyway. And I'm going to be going through the agenda on Monday, but I'm going to do a different format. Like I said, I'm not wasting my time going through it item by item. We used to go through all the item by item by item. You know what? I'm not wasting my time anymore. Half the stuff is nonsense. I'm going to pick out the parts that may interest you, the listener. I'll bring Wheels in, and he'll pick out the things he thinks may interest you. And by doing that, we'll probably cover the gamut of different things that you'll probably be interested in. But we're not going to spend a lot of time going through all this because, what does it matter? It doesn't matter. The things that we think they should do, they don't do anyway. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that at least we're doing it and looking at it and giving our opinion on it and telling you what might happen and giving you some indication as to what may be interesting, the things that you may want to watch. As you skip through the whole meeting, if you're going to watch it on a replay or if you're watching it live, you can go make some popcorn and everything else while they're talking about nonsense. I've been looking through it already, and did I say anything? We're going to give you things to watch, but there's the wastewater budget in there. Woohoo! That's a good one. That's a really good one. We'll talk about that for a minute. There's a couple of contentious, interesting items in there, but we'll talk about all that on Monday. So stay tuned. Tune in on Monday, and you'll get the lowdown on it. Like I said, the wastewater budget's in, and that's going to be something to talk about. Another hit to your wallet. And of course, people think the water and wastewater budget isn't a tax, right? It's a tax. It should really be on your tax bill, your levy, right? But they separated it out so they can raise it over here. And rather than tell you your taxes are going up 8%, oh no, it's only going up 4%, another 4% for water and wastewater or whatever, right? Handed down from the thing. It's an illusion. It's a trick, the old trick about making the pen disappear. Look, I don't know, where'd that pen go? I can't see it. Oh, here it is. See, I got it right here. It's that old trick, right? Another big hit. And, it just comes down to the tax and spend wasters on regional council. They run the water show, and they send us the bill, basically. So we're being pickpocketed by 2 levels of government instead of 1. How about that? Double your pleasure, double your fun. Get your pocket picked by 2 governments instead of just 1. Yeah, wasn't that a commercial? So we'll watch for that on Tuesday. We'll talk more about that. And there's a couple of other things in there that I think you'll be interested in that I've seen that we're going to talk about. So, yeah, tune in on Monday. Manic Monday with Dave Wheeler. Now, an interesting article in the review about luring doctors to Niagara Falls. And I thank Ray Spiteri for penning this article. We're desperately in need of new doctors as the migration down the QEW continues, and so do open borders in Canada. Right now, Niagara Falls is short 36 doctors. of the 76 that we need. So there's 40 now. We need 36 more to have enough doctors for everybody in the falls. And I'm sure you know somebody you've talked to who doesn't have a doctor, and they're looking for a doctor. And the kid, you know, a doctor. Was your doctor taking customers? Is there any doctors? Is there a doctor in the house? Well, no, there isn't. There isn't. We signed up like 2 last year. Now, Welland, they have signed 10, maybe more. Now, why is that, Dr. Peabody? Well, Poindexter, the reason is because they offered them a brick. That's right, $100,000. Woo! To hang the shingle out in Welland. That's why, Peabody. Yeah. You little Poindexter. How does the Falls make out? Well, they only offer 5 bands, 50 grand. That's it for a new doctor. Oofa. No wonder Welland is grabbing all the spice. And we're not getting much nice. Fort Erie and Port Colborne offers 75 grand. So we're kind of on the bottom rung of the barrel here, right? And I know doctors going to the highest bidder. People have told me this before. Oh, that's not fair because smaller towns aren't going to be in the running because they don't have the money. Okay. So what's the problem? We're not a smaller town and we got lots of money. Cedar gives us $24 million a year. Welland doesn't get that. Port Colborne doesn't get that. Dunnville doesn't get that. Smithville doesn't get that. Grimsby, Beamsville, Jordan Harbor, St. Catharines. Oh man, they don't get it. None of those guys get $24 million a year from a casino. So it should be a lock for richer communities, right? Well, that's not true, as you can tell. It's all about the will to make it happen. Just calculating here. Now, let's take a look at $25,000 for a concrete ping pong table, $40,000 for a pollinating meadow, $60,000 for a spritzer and bottle filler, $13 million for a trail that we don't need. Let's see, what was there? Another $40,000 for something else, chess tables, $20,000 for a dog run, agility course. Do you think some of that money maybe should go to trying to attract some doctors for us? Wouldn't that be a wiser spend of the money? Oh, don't we? Can't say that. Can't say that. Oh, we did a survey. People want concrete ping pong tables. And the number one thing was a $13 million trail. That's what people want. Yeah, somebody who's sick if they want a friggin' pollinating meadow. As a matter of fact, that gives me hay fever and crap. I don't even want it. Yeah. So questions are skewed. 350,000 is 3.5 doctors. I don't know how you get a half a doctor, but I think the city can afford to throw in the other 50 grand to get a whole one. And the other millions of dollars could probably attract 36 that we need here right now. And look at this goofball. It's going to smash right into the side of Harold's truck. Oh, we get lots of goofballs out here. But anyway, you got to be in it to win it. The city has the dough. We have the money. We got 80 million hanging around. We got lots of money. Oh, if she hit that truck, I would have right out there. I'd put a pause on the show and go out and tell Harold. Yeah, you got to stop wasting our money on Steve. Quit being a bunch of stunads, city council, and get the job done at Tuesday's meeting. They're going to be talking about this, and they're going to be talking about the budget. They allow $300,000, and hopefully they're going to get 6 doctors. 6 doctors. Come on, up the ante. Say no to all these other goofy plans. We need doctors. People want doctors. They don't want chess tables, chess games, and picnic tables. And smart enough. Thanks, Ray Spiteri, for the great review article. So, I got to talk about my second sponsor, Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza. Guess what? That's what I'm gonna have for supper. I'm gonna have a pizza. I haven't had a pizza this week. I'm jonesing. And where am I gonna go? Pizza. That's where I always go. I get their Canadian bacon crumble, pepperoni, mushroom. Then they use the Mancini family recipe for their sauce and crust. It's fantastic. Mancini family started 40 years ago. Pizza in St. Catharines. Have a couple of different franchises around the city, and Mike has one on Victoria Avenue. Mike worked in an Italian restaurant for 15 years, so knows what he's doing. He takes that Saputo mozzarella with the brick cheese, blends it all up, mixes it. You get that nice stretch and everything on the pizza. Oh yeah, we're talking a good pizza here, and throw it all together in the right ratio, and you got yourself a pizza. But they don't just have pizza; they have hot subs. They have food. I showed you the menu yesterday. It's this big. Folds over. Got everything. Poutine, steak and cheese poutine. They got wings. Their wings are really good. Yeah, they got everything. Combo specials. It doesn't matter. They extended the hours. Sunday to Thursday, it's 11 at night. They close, and Friday and Saturday, 2 in the morning. Perfect. You have a couple of drinky poos and you want a pizza and watch Fright Night? Hey, guess what? There it is. And there's Harold. Harold's safe. His truck's safe. He's waving over there. How you doing, Harold? How you doing over there? How you doing? And so go. Come on. Victoria Avenue, Pete's Pizza. Go get a pizza. 905-374-2222. Or you can go to petespizzavictoria.ca and order online. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you, and we appreciate you supporting our sponsors. So let's do a whatever happened to. Whatever happened to the huge problem with that regional shelter on Summer Street? You remember back in April, the old Coronation Center? The region bought it from the city. The city had to offer it to the region first, I guess. And they said, okay, we'll take it, and we'll put a bunch of homeless people, addicts, mental cases, throw them all in there. And of course, the residents of the area came into the city pleading for help, as the shelter has turned into a nightmare for them. Addicted zombies walking around their yards, homeless wandering around the streets at night. Not one of them signed up for this. And yes, if you go by there, you'll see how bad it really is. They said they feel like hostages in their own neighborhoods, in their own homes, afraid to come out at night. And they're dealing with drug paraphernalia, fights, public urination on their properties, and stolen mail. I mean, it's a nightmare for these people. And they came to city council and pleaded with them to thing. And I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more tomorrow. Something happened during that meeting. It has to do with something on the agenda tomorrow. You want to know what it is? You got to tune in. Come on, let's get with it here. So our CAO, Jason Burgess, who I affectionately call the Penguin, says that it's calmed down a bit. That's right, it's calmed down a bit. It's a work in progress. It's not perfect, but it's getting better. Okay, they asked for help. It's been April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That would be 10. That's 9, 8 months. Yeah. 8 months. No help. And I think if you ask the neighbors, they'd still have the same complaints. And if you go by to see them, you see these people hanging around outside, flaked out on the grass across the street at a derelict building that the city should really tear down. It's abandoned, the house, flaked out on the front lawn. And of course, the solution is to not have the shelter there. That would be the best solution. The city really is schnookered on this one. The region has the say, and they say it stays. And that's that. The dog, she's a stay. Me personally, I say get rid of it. Law-abiding taxpayers should not be held hostage in their neighborhoods by a band of drug dealers, drug addicts, mental cases, and whatever else there is there. It's a bunch of BS. Time has come to deal with this. That time is now. Stop the insanity. Thanks to Ray Spiteri for another great article in the review. And you know, this notwithstanding thing, got to get that through. They got to vote for that. And I know all the people on and you know what? For 20 years, you've been trying free this, free needles, safe zones, bringing them back from dead with naloxone or whatever the hell it's called. The whole thing. You've been trying this, trying to deal with them, and then it doesn't work. The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. You're not going to get different results as long as you keep doing the same things. Mayor Jim had it right. Tough love. And you know what? I don't agree with Mayor Jim on a lot of stuff. On this one, I'm with him. I get it. So that's whatever happened to. It's still the same. Nothing ever happened to. And something's got to happen. These people cannot have this problem in their neighborhood. That's not what it's all, somebody's got to help them. Oh man. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Now I got to reach out to my listeners out here, my radio listeners or my video watchers over here and listeners, and ask their opinion on something. I got into a little bit of a, not an argument, but let's call it a discussion. Hey, there's a bacala right over there. What I see walking down the street. This guy got his skates on. He's going to the rink at the brink. That bacala. I have to reach out to my listeners. Sorry about the interjections. It's Friday. And when I see a bacala, I got to say, look at the bacala. I was reading on Facebook post, and this guy claimed that the Casa d'Oro, the Capri, and Hungarian Tavern buildings are historical buildings. Now, no. They're not historical buildings, and the point is moot in the case of the Casa d'Oro and Capri, because they're basically gone. They're gone. The Casa d'Oro is definitely gone. Parking lot. And Capri is gone, all but Brava there, whatever it's called now. That's in its old place, and that's all being torn down to build a couple of big apartments or condos or something there on that corner. And the Hungarian Tavern, I mean, I think, is that even there? Was that Johnny Peppers that burned down? I don't even think that's there, but they said they're historic buildings. Well, they're not even there anymore, so the point is moot. But they were historic buildings. Does anybody consider them historic buildings? The Casa d'Oro? It was Victoria Motors back in the old days. They sold Ford cars there, because I remember when we were growing up, there was a guy named Mike Walker. His father owned it, and he had this beautiful that 1962 Thunderbird. It had the folding headlights. I think it did, maybe not. I don't know. It's a long time ago, but it had that beautiful blue color. And you get in the back seat and have the opera seats. They go like this and wrap right around the side of the car. Oh, it was something. It was something. They owned that. The Walkers, I think, owned that. Victoria Motors. And I don't think there's anything there before that. I mean, there was an arena down there, the original arena, before they built the one on that they just tore down, the Niagara Falls Memorial Arena. And I don't know if it was there. It might have been across the street, like on the other side of the street from the Casa d'Oro. Not on the side across Victoria, the side across whatever that side street is. What is it? Forsyth? Something like that. Slater? I don't know. But they're not historic buildings. I mean, if you're going to complain about saving historic buildings, let's save historic buildings. They're not historic from the 30s and 40s. Nothing historic about them. An old car dealership? You're going to save that? Casa d'Oro, well, it's long gone. You're not saving anything, and it's not historic. Like if that's the case, then definitely save the Sundowner. I would say that's as historic as anything. Yeah. So anyway, do you guys think that was their historic buildings? The taxpayers should be flipping money on to save these things? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, they're iconic, iconic. Casadoro was a great meeting place back in the day. The restaurant was phenomenal. And, the Rialto room was a blast back in the 80s and disco and all that. A lot of people went there, but they're not the Bellevue who was down by the lower bridge over here. And then they hauled it up to St. Paul Avenue. And they're not the old Angel Inn, which has been around since 1789. I mean, yeah, I can understand maybe they're historic buildings, but they have a good history in them. But these other ones, iconic. We had fun, but historic. Yeah. So in the other two, I don't know. Capri Restaurant was rented all those years by the Alfieri family, to run their restaurant. The Capri, they rented that building. They leased it or rented it or whatever. So really, I mean, it wasn't anything special. And the Hungarian Tavern, I don't even know. I mean, I was never there. I remember it being there, but historic, I don't think so. What do you guys think out there? Historic or no? I don't consider them historic. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to find out. Christian Bell, you always have a thing about historic buildings. What do you think? Leave a comment on the video, and I'll talk about what people said. If anybody says anything about it, maybe nobody will because they don't think they're historic. Now over to Manhattan. And did you see this weird story about the United Healthcare CEO being gunned down on the streets of Midtown Manhattan? The CEO of the largest healthcare company in the US, and they have healthcare insurance, that's what they deal in, was assassinated after coming out of the Midtown Manhattan Hilton at 6:48 in the morning. Now, right now, the police really are starting to figure out who it was, but they still, of course, don't have a motive why this guy gunned it down, and there's a $10,000 reward. I don't know. That might have been up. I don't think it was yet, but it may have been since I saw it last. But there's several clues about what they're looking at. Now, the scenario is, and this was almost like a Paulie Castellano hit. Guy walks up from between a few cars. Guy walks by. As soon as he walked by, he walks on the sidewalk. He's got a gun with a silencer. Bang, bang. Walks up to him. The thing jammed. He unjammed it real quick. Bang, 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 bang. Done. Dead on the sidewalk. The guy walks away, walks between a couple cars, crosses the street, goes down an alley, jumps on an e-bike, and tools it off to Central Park, just down the street, about 4 or 5 blocks away. So, I mean, to me, and I'm not Sherlock Holmes or a detective, but to me, when I see this looks like a professional hit to me. Now they're saying it wasn't, but man, oh man, this is exactly how these guys get hit. Broad daylight, Manhattan, cameras all over the place. And now they're looking for him. And now they got pictures of him from the Greyhound station and a lot. Now, to me, this looks like a pro hit. The guy wasn't just some schmuck shooting a guy on the street. He waited all night there for the CEO to come out in the morning and specifically wanted him dead. He had it planned out to a T. He took off and nobody knows where or why. It couldn't be more professional. They don't know why he did it or where he went. They're trying to find him now. He wore a mask, had a silencer on the gun, something regular people don't have. They don't walk around with silencers. They're hard to get a hold of. You can just buy a silencer for a gun. So it looks to me like somebody hired a hit on this guy. And his wife says there were some threats. Now, right away, that makes me think she's involved. I mean, it's not like that hasn't happened before where a guy making $10 million a year as the CEO of a huge company ends up getting murdered. and the wife is responsible with her boyfriend or whatever, or just don't like the guy, wants to get him out of her life, and just hires a hitman. This has happened so many times. It's typical, and I will guarantee you, the wife right now is under a microscope, and not just the wife. I mean, any spouse is the number one suspect right away. But there's some loose ends they have to piece together, and I think the cops, the investigators, the FBI, whoever's involved in this, I think they know who it is. They've got those pictures of him. They got him at a Starbucks. They got him at the terminal. He had to go do something, and he had to pull his mask off to be able to do it. He was wearing it around his neck. And in that regard, it exposed who he was. So they're looking at him. But you know what? I saw this weird thing today on I think it was on TikTok. And there's these masks that you can buy. And they're almost like the old days when somebody used to rob a bank. They used to get a nylon stocking and pull them over so it would distort their face. You couldn't tell who they were, but you could see through it. Well, these masks are exactly like that, except they're totally realistic. If you pulled one of these masks on, it would make you look 50 years older or 50 years younger. It would make you look black or like a Middle Easterner or white. They're unbelievable. And once you pull them over and you put a hoodie up, you can't tell who it is. Seriously. Somebody walking right by you that you know your best friend could put one of these on, you wouldn't know it's them. You wouldn't know it's them. So you have to wonder, because the nose coming out of that mask looked artificial. It didn't look real to me. So I wonder if part of this whole get up with the hoodie and everything else in the backpack, I just wonder if it was maybe he had one of these masks. We'll find out. But I'm guaranteed the police know who this guy is. They probably already know who he is. They're just looking for him. He could be long gone. He could be hiding in plain sight. He's wearing one of those masks. They'd never know. Right? So we'll see if they know who it is or not. Now, the CEO was from Minnesota. So there's that as well. And apparently some new evidence is coming. They took a Greyhound from Atlanta to get there. So very, very, very interesting. Very interesting when it's all said and done. What do you think? I think they're going to catch this guy. And it's going to be interesting to find out why. Now, somebody was saying, and I was watching this one thing, this is pretty wild, that Nancy Pelosi sold some shares in the health company or bought some shares in the health company. And this guy is a MK Ultra Manchurian candidate and was sent by Pelosi to take this guy out. Now, that's whacked. I think that's stretching a little bit far. You know, but there was some transactions by Pelosi or something. Now, could this be true? Hey, I don't put nothing past anyone. Never say never. That's what I've learned. Never say never. But to me, that's a little bit far-fetched. That's a little bit far-fetched. We'll see how it develops over the weekend. Elon Musk. And this finally may come to fruition. Wants to get rid of daylight savings time once and for all. And it can't come soon enough for me. These constant changes drive me nuts. I mean, they were there for a reason maybe a century ago. They're obsolete now. There's no need to be changing the clocks. And if they do it in the States, they will definitely do it in Canada. Elon and his Doge are working on more important matters, of course, but this is one of the things that these little irritating things that really irritate people, and it's got to go by the wayside. And Doge is the one to do it. Now, the constant changes in time are like a mini jet lag. They disrupt our circadian, this is what the experts are saying, circadian rhythms. damaging our sleep quality and potentially our health. I know the older you get, the worse this change is. It knocks me out for a few days, man. I'm all screwed up on my time. I'm up at 5 in the morning most mornings. You turn the clocks back, it really screws you all up. What time is it at 5 in the morning when they change the clocks back? Or when they put them ahead? Like you're all screwed up. You're missing sleep or whatever. Researchers also found that traffic accidents, collisions with animals increases sharply after the end of daylight savings time, and workplace injuries rise noticeably after daylight savings time starts each year. Personally, I'd like to see the daylight savings time permanent, not the Eastern Standard Time, the daylight savings time. I would rather have more light at night. I mean, it is depressing. At 4:30, it's dark out. That's depressing. I mean, in the morning, when I get up, I expect it to be dark. I get up, it's dark. I expect it to be dark for a few hours. But at 4:30 at night, I don't expect it to be dark out. I expect it to be light out. So I'd rather see that. And some studies have found that this goofy change increases your risk of heart attack by as much as 10%. I don't know about that one, but it's out there to consider. Either way, if the US goes for it, so will Canada, and that's a good thing. Daylight savings time, Eastern Standard Time. What would you prefer? Leave some comments in the video and we'll discuss it next show. I like daylight savings time myself. Just leave it alone. But if it's Eastern Standard Time, I don't care. Just leave it alone. What do you think out there? Do you think we should leave it alone or change it? Over to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Shop. And my buddy Dave Wheeler Wheels, he congratulated them for sponsoring the show and for advertising to the public, because a lot of people don't know exactly what they do. They think it's a place where you go for specialty things and have this made and ground and everything. And they're right, but they also do it for the general public. You need something custom made, welded and made, maybe even sent out for powder coating after they're finished. They probably can get that done for you. That's the kind of thing they do. Need a set of back gates for your backyard? They'll design it, fabricate it for you, and probably install it if you're nice to them. But for anything, they have laser cutting there. If you need something cut out, you want to make something, a plaque or something, they can do it. Anything to do with steel, metal, they can do. And they also have a 3D printer. So if you need a nylon or a plastic piece made that you can't find or is very expensive to buy, you should go talk to them. They may be able to get the design for it and make it right there in their shop for you. Broken metal part, take it there. They'll weld it up. And if they can't fix it, they'll design another one for you. They can do that. They fabricate any kind of machine shop work they can do. And the great thing is they don't just deal with big industrial clients, which they do. I mean, they deal with wineries. They make beautiful metal things for wineries. They deal with the city. City breaks something. One of their guys run over something with the lawnmower, blows a piece of the body of the lawnmower out. They take it over there. These guys weld a new piece in, clean it all up, paint it, and away they go. That's what they do, but they do it for the general public as well. So if you ever break anything, don't even think about it. Just give Hamel Machine Shop in Niagara Falls a call. And Bob Benner and his staff there, they're so friendly. His daughter Catherine and his wife Patty, they're unbelievable. They're going to take care of you. They're going to get you fixed up. And you're going to be a happy camper. Even you guys with the old cars, if a part breaks, you can't find it, hey, they can make it for you. Don't worry about it. Go talk to these guys at Hamel Machine Shop. Now, if you want to check out their website, go to hamelmachine.ca and you can see all the different things that they do. And like I say, you need custom work done, anything done, give them a call. They're going to take care of you. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. They know what they're doing over there at Hamel. And we thank them for sponsoring the show, and tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. so they know where you got their name from. But I remember having to get something done. I searched. I didn't know where the heck to go with it. This would have made it so easy if I knew Hamill Machine Shop actually existed. You don't think about this. These machine shops, you think they're big customers. They don't have time for them. No, that's what they do. Precision work for any need. Go see them. Check it out. So I was watching Parliament again. Every once in a while, I get on the TV pops up the Parliamentary channel or whatever it is, right? And I can't help but watch these clowns arguing in there because they're always arguing, right? and I get entertained by it, to be honest with you. And we get to see the people who are running the country: Justin Castro, Jimmy Dollywall, and Pierre Poilievre. Talking about it, and also the Quebec Party, Quebecois, or whatever the heck they're called. Excuse me. I got this. It's dry in the winter. So I watch these guys, and it's almost like Pierre Poilievre is the road runner, and you got all these coyotes chasing him around, right? Because he's smarter than they are. You can tell he's smarter than they are. And they're chasing him around, and he's just, every time they try to drop the Acme anvil on him, or put up the Acme trap to catch him, they always catch themselves and make themselves look goofy. The libs and the dippers, they just stand there with dumb looks on their faces after PP gets through with them. But the best was yesterday when he called Jimmy Dollywall, the NDP leader, Jagmeet Singh, the Maserati Marxist. Singh drives an expensive car. I mean, probably a Maserati. But the Maserati Marxist, and I call him the Raja of Rolex. Close enough, but oh my goodness, you get the Rolex watching the Maserati, call him the Maserati Marxist. I was laughing my head off. I mean, we really do have to get rid of this government. But Jimmy Dollywall, he's not going to bring Trudeau down. Nope. If he tore up that agreement with the Liberals, I'm not doing that. You guys would made the CN go back to work. I'm not doing that. I'm tearing this up. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, that guess what? The bottom line is that he didn't do anything. That was all a show acted out for the people. They had it all planned out, guaranteed, and they acted it out just like it should be. It was hilarious, to say the least. Now, we really do have to get rid of the government, but Jimmy Dollywall's not doing it. His only power comes from sleeping with Justin Castro whenever he can. So they're in bed together, and they are basically, two is one, double your pleasure, double your fun, double mint gum over here. And they're going to vote with each other and support each other no matter what. If you're waiting for a spring election, that might happen. But I really don't want to wait till October 20th, 2025 for an election. We need an election before that. Going to throw these bums out. Get Pierre Poilievre in there working with the Trump doctrine. And it's going to be great for Canada, great for Canadians as we shelve the carbon tax, get out of the useless accords that just cost us money, and throw woke politics in the trash. Like, we know China and India don't give a rat's ass and neither their people about the environment, about carbon, about anything. I heard somebody talking, and they said if you totally got rid of everybody in Britain, everybody, it would not make one difference to the carbon problem they say they have. Because they emit so little, it's nothing. And same with Canada, same with the United States. It's China, India, these countries that they don't give a rat's ass. They're causing the problem, and they're never going to change it. They don't care. So yeah, we got to get out of these accords, axe the tax, like PP says, and get on with it. Now down to the White House. Biden's bizarre. He was over in Angola giving them billions of dollars, right? I mean, Doge is trying to save the people trillions of dollars. And while they're doing that, he's over there giving away billions, as much as he can before he gets thrown out of the White House. But in a more bizarre move, he's setting up to give preemptive pardons to people like Shifty Schiff, Liz Cheney, and the Doctor of Death, Anthony Fauci, just in case Trump goes after them. Do you imagine this? I mean, is this even legal? How can you pardon someone that allegedly has not committed a crime? Or have they? Maybe they need a pardon. Great question. Great question. I don't think this has ever been done before, or maybe it's not even legal. I don't know. I think if some rulings come down to impeach or arrest them, this matter will be tried in a court of law and may even reach the Supreme Court on a constitutional challenge. Can the president pardon someone with no charges currently against them? This seems way out there, but the Supreme Court has never considered the legal effect of such pardons, and it has happened before. If you remember, way back in the early 70s, I think it was 72, Ford pardoned Nixon, who had not been formally charged with a crime, but was definitely going to be impeached and charged in regard to the Watergate scandal. So he stepped down. Ford pardoned him when he took over, and it never reached the Supreme Court, so they didn't have to consider the legal effect of such a pardon. In other words, we don't know if they're legal. It's never been challenged to that level. Stay tuned for this one. This could get interesting if Trump wants to push the matter, but in my opinion, I think they're going to all be banished. And Trump has bigger fish to fry right now. I mean, he's got to take care of the border, the economy. He's got to sidestep World War III. I doubt he's going to be after these three stooges. I just don't think he's going to do that. He said his best revenge is success, making the country great again. And I truly believe that's what he's going to do. I don't think he's going to be going after these bozos. They'll be persona non grata. They're not going to have any more power. But believe me, they should be in jail, all of them. Last thing I want to talk about is over to New Jersey. Has anybody been following these weird drone appearances over New Jersey? For the last few weeks, a cluster of drones, and these are larger drones, not the ones you order from Amazon. No, they're not the little ones you see your neighbor having. He flies it around and that kind of thing. No. This isn't that. These are military-sized drones, big drones, in clusters. And they've been lighting up the sky over New Jersey at night. Of course, they come out at night, fly all over the place, and they go away in the daytime. They're not there in the daytime. They've been seen over critical infrastructure like water reservoirs, electric transmission lines, rail stations, police departments, and military installations. How about that? Now, authorities say their presence appears to be nefarious in nature. They look like there's something bad, not good. Now, local police say there's no immediate threat to the public. Interesting they say that. I would say drones flying over military installations and reservoirs and that kind of thing. To me, that's pretty much of a threat if they wanted to release something into the water or something. So how would they know that? Why would they say that? The police say they're actively monitoring the situation. And New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy says he has been in touch with federal and state law enforcement agencies about the sightings. Now, residents are saying they're the size of small cars. Their wingspans are probably 6 feet across or more. Some residents are afraid it is the work of terrorists. And when one resident saw the drones, they were in the flight path of Newark International Airport. And when aircraft approached them, their lights went off. And when the aircraft got by them, their lights went back on. So somebody's piloting these things. There's somebody remote controlling these things. Who, where? We don't know. Nobody knows. Don't know who they are, don't know who's piloting them, don't know what their mission is. But the FBI is concerned enough to be looking into the problem. The FBI says the drones have been reportedly flying in several areas along 70-mile Rayton River, accompanied by possible fixed wing aircraft. So they could be being controlled by that. The Rayton River drains a bunch of New Jersey around Newark and flows into the Hudson River by Staten Island. 70 miles long along that river. The drones have also been spotted over President Trump National Golf Club Bedminster in New Jersey in that same area. Something causing more concerns for officials considering he's been shot at and he almost got assassinated on his own golf course in Florida. So this is really, really strange, out of the ordinary, weird. So stay tuned for this one. If you haven't heard about it, look it up and stay tuned for what's going to happen with this, because it's bizarre. Bizarre stuff happening. And that, my friends, is the end to another week. Now, on Monday, like I say, tune in on Monday. Wheels is going to be in the house. And we are going to run through the city council agenda, but not like we have been. It's going to be a different kind of a show where we're going to pick out points and discuss them. The important points we think you need to know as residents of Niagara Falls. We're not going to bother with the fluff. Why bother? It's irrelevant. But between Dave and I figure that I'll pick out the things I think are important. He'll pick out the things he thinks are important. And between us, we'll cover the gamut of things that we think would be important to you, the taxpayer. So we're going to take care of that. What else we got going on next week? Well, Monday's that. Tuesday's the city council meeting. I'll be watching that. Absolutely on Wednesday. We'll be talking more about city council on Tuesday. I'm sure I will be anyway. We got Thursday, Friday. Yeah. Happy birthday to the Buzzard. It's his birthday on Sunday, December the 8th, the Buzzard. The baseball expert we usually bring in to talk about baseball, my cousin, Bill Tellerico. Happy birthday to him on Sunday. And yeah, other than that, I'm out of here. Please, please, please support our sponsors. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, and Hamill Machine Shop, our newest sponsor. Check out our other shows. They're all on YouTube. If you missed one, go watch it. They're all dated. And you'll see what we've been talking about all week. If you missed them, binge on them. You get a couple laughs. What the hell, right? What else is on the ticket here? Nothing. Our sponsors. Support our sponsors. Hey, hit the button. Subscribe. Hit the notification. Hit the subscribe. Give us comments. I want to know what you think about the things I was talking about today. Those items we were talking about. Let's get your opinion. I want your opinion on them. We'll talk more about them during the week as we roll along through next week and into Christmas. I mean, we're at the 6th today. 19 days till Christmas. And before you know it, we're going to be there. 19 days. That's it. Get your presents bought. Get out there. Support our sponsors. Everything's good. Talk to you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy the weather. We're getting into the 40s. All this crap is going to be gone. We're getting into the 40s. And that's a good thing. I'm happy about that. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless y'all. We will talk to you Monday with Manic Monday and with the City Council Agenda Review. Take care. Bye-bye.